Classic. The boys are back. Disappointing week for two of us. Good week for one. We're on. I think we're all nearly level on the year tag after a good week. But first off, how are you doing, and how did take us through your bets last week?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. I've just picked myself up off the floor after a bad week. It was a really good week the week before. Hopefully, it was getting the momentum going, but yeah, it was a poor week. The Falcons, the Seahawks finally showed up and at the Falcons. I think it was only 1 out of 3. I got the London pick in, and I got the touchdown treble in. I went with Amari Cooper, obviously first game for Bills. So I'm sort of happy that I sort of stuck to my end of the bargain on them bets, but regarding my own bet, it was a shocker.
Fair enough. Bish, how are you? Eckler didn't come in, Bish. Sorry, I'll ruin your tagline.
He didn't. But I don't blame Eckler. I blame the quarterback, as we've just discussed. They were wide open on plenty of occasions. But yeah, again, a tough week. 1 out of 3 on the best bets. AJ Brown sailed in on his overs. It went as we sort of said. One-on-one coverage outside is no-brainer. Jefferson fell just short of his overs, which were a bit annoying. I think we were 11 yards short on that one. And then Eckler, yeah. Jaden Daniels left the game pretty early, and Mariota came in, and it just didn't go to script. So not great. Half a unit up on the season. And just for those, I've got some people who ask a few questions. I take mine as singles. Obviously, if you want to put them in a treble, that's up to you. Obviously, some of mine aren't appealing because they're not great odds. But for me, it's a slow burner across the course of the season. Joe and Tag are there for your big wins and to get your money in your pocket. I'm grafting away. I'm a week to week grinder. So yeah, that's how I play mine. But yeah, you play them however you want. So based on individual singles, I'm half a unit up. And then obviously the Mario Douglas, the London game, he started well, and then all of a sudden we didn't see him. He had an illness and didn't come back in the game. So pretty poor week. But we're looking to bounce back.
Yeah, and my ones quickly. I'll cover my safer bet was Carolina +8 and Leggett over receiving yards. I'll let you look at the results of that one. My bet boost. My bet boost. Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, Montgomery Gibbs, JMO. I think got minus receiving yards, so that one went well. And then my close one that would have made it all, my 15-2. Bijan got his overs, Walker got his overs. I did my running back, and I needed Algier, and he got 37 rushing point. I think he got 37 point something rushing yards when he needed 38.5. So yeah, that one missed just to save my week. So yeah, other than that, my other two didn't come in. So yeah, really poor week from me, lads. Apologies.
We have them now and again, don't we?
Happens. Them performance-enhancing drugs help Jameis Williams get mad at 3 yards on the night.
They said it's something silly, isn't it? It's performance enhancing in another way, isn't it, lads? From what I've seen in the reports.
Yeah, he's come out and sort of defended himself a bit. I think he's just copping the 2-game ban there and just cracking on.
Well, it's a new week. We're on week 8, lads. I like what we've all come up with. They're all down. So, Bish, I'll let you start us off.
Week 1, and I'm back to my pass catching running backs. Not Eckler this week, but I'm hitting Devon Achane over 23.5 receiving yards, and it's the same sort of mindset as the Eckler bets. It's a big week. Potentially, we've got Tua coming back, returning for the Miami Dolphins, and hopefully we get to see their offense start to tick again. With Tua in weeks 1 and 2. Achane absolutely smashed this line. I think he had 76 and 69 yards. Week 3 actually did it as well with Skylar Thompson. And then it's been pretty tough sledding. He's been pretty much a non-factor going forward as much as this Miami offense has. But with Tua back, as I said, we expect big things. The Cardinals have given up this line to 5 out of 7 running backs. 5 out of 7 in 5 out of 7 games to running backs. And to be one that they didn't was actually against Eckler, but Eckler was concussed, so he didn't play that game. So realistically, it would have been 6 out of 7, I believe. So again, it's the Cardinals. I think it's a bit of a weakness, pass catching running backs, and this is all on Tua. Tua coming back and that offense ticking, and I think Achan walks this.
Yeah, I think the Miami offense has been desperate for Tua to come back. I'm hoping for, and I'm expecting a big explosion from this offense this week, and Devon Achane will be a big part of that. I'm loving that this week, Bish. I think you've found a little gem there.
Like it, yeah, surprised it's so low, especially like I said with Tua, his bit of concussion. He'll be looking to get that ball out quick and fast, have a nice steady game, and Achan's the man for that one, isn't he? With the as a pass catching running back, probably one of the top 2 in the league. So yeah, surprised that's so low. To be honest, I think the script makes sense for you there, Bish. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think I'm finding a little trend with it. Like I said, the pass catching running backs, the bookies aren't really, thinking that much of them as receivers. So the good ones, I'm trying to hit.
Bish, I'll take you through my one, and I'll apologise now. I'm kind of copying. I am copying you a bit on the roll, so I'll take a bit of flack. But I've got the Packers in the Jags game, and I've got Josh Jacobs over 16.5 receiving yards, and Christian Watson over 26.5 receiving yards. I thought these are both the lines. Jacksonville have been just really, really bad on the defensive side of the ball. Jaden Reed's been carrying an injury for 2 weeks now on his ankle. So as we saw last week, he wasn't that effective. Watson's been out. He's coming back in. 26.5's low for, pretty low for me. I think they'll have plenty of. I think it'll be a big scoring game. I wanted to go the overs, but it was 49.5, and I thought it can be a big scoring game and maybe still be under that, or Jags might not get many points. So I didn't want to bank on that one. So I put loads of receptions and receiving yards. Josh Jacobs has hit this line 4 out of the 7 weeks. Sorry. Yeah, 4 out of the 7 weeks. 3 of the times it was when they've just blown teams out. They might blow him out here, but I think he also gets the receiving yards pretty easily. He's been doing more and more in the receiving game, and I think this one's a nice steady banker just to make me even on the week, lads.
Love it.
Yeah, I like it. It flows nicely into my bet too as well. So yeah, I'll go straight in. Bet 2, I've got Jordan Love over 2.5 passing touchdowns. And similar to you, Joey, I've got this being a pretty big game for the Packers. Just based on the matchup, the Jags, they've been a poor team this year. The 3rd worst in points conceded. They concede on average 27 points a game, which is pretty close to four touchdowns a game. 2nd worst against the pass. So, they're a sieve, basically. The Packers are a top 10 passing, top 10 team in terms of passing per game. And Love has had at least 2 touchdowns in every game, throwing touchdowns. That is, he's actually hit this line over 2.5 in 3 out of the 5 games. So, as we've spoke about, Tag, as you spoke about a couple of times on the debrief show, he's having a good season. Is Jordan Love? He's spraying that ball around, and I think he gets loose and finds a few, well, at least 3 times in the end zone here. The spread is -4, which I'm quite surprised at. I thought the Packers would be a lot bigger price than this. And the Jags have just come back from 2 weeks in London as well. So, having had to adjust to London time zone, they're now back and having to adjust again to Florida time zone. So I just think everything's set here for a big Packers game. And Jordan Love finds 3 passing touchdowns for us.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bish. I think the Packers and Miami are 2 teams everyone can sort of get on board this week on big performances at home against. Well, obviously I know the Packers are away, but like you said, take advantage of that Jags not having a bye after the London game. Jordan Love, we're sowing on him, and I think that's a really good price as well to be sort of nearly getting triple your money. I think it's a really good bet.
It's a big price for me, that.
That's it. I did have to double check when you put it in the group.
I wasn't using the number 2 on your bets, Bish. I didn't know where it was.
That's Bish chasing that after the last week's poor effort. He's chasing with that,
isn't he? All right, lads, I'll take you through my second bet. It's in the Bulls-Seahawks game. A few over receiving yards again. I've got JSN over 51.5 receiving yards. I've got Kenneth Walker. Copying you again, Bish, with these passes.
I've started a trend, haven't I?
I'm on it. I'm fully with you. You've convinced me. Kenneth Walker over 23.5 receiving yards, and I've got Keon Coleman over 31.5 receiving yards. The Seahawks, when the game gets close, they give up the run completely. DK Metcalf's out. I love JSN. I think he's a brilliant one. He's been in the slot. I think through game scripts and the way they've been, he's probably not been utilised enough. And I think with DK being out, this is a bit of the eye test for me. But I think he has a big game here. Walker again hit this 4 out of 7 weeks. I think this might have been 5 out of 7 weeks. Sorry, I think 5 out of 7 weeks. He's a great pass catching running back. The only weeks where he hasn't done it is when again they're blown out. So then the backup comes in, who I've got on my fantasy team, and I've done my classic and forgot his name quickly. It is Charbonnet. When Charbonnet's come in and took over some of the pass catching, that's the only weeks he's not hit. So I think that one's a guarantee. Keon Coleman's probably the risk. He's now been demoted down to like 3rd choice, but he's the rookie. I think they're not have to. I think the Bills will throw the ball a lot. Coleman has hit this line again over the weeks. 4 out of the 7 weeks. I must have picked these one based on doing that. So yeah, I think Coleman does this. I think overall be a lot of throwing, a lot of fun, a lot of highlights on Red Zone. So I thought I'd attack this game.
I'm interested to see Keon Coleman. I quite like that line. I think with Amari Cooper coming in, it actually benefits him. It looked like last week, obviously Amari Cooper will get all the attention, and Keon Coleman, I think he had 100 plus yards last week. So for his line this week to be at 31 and a half, that's I'm quite interested in that price myself.
I like it. Always good getting a
Yeah, we like to think. I like the JSN with Metcalf out, and Kenneth Walker obviously had the doubt last week. Still got quite a lot of reps. He was carrying an illness. I like to think he'll be well recovered from that now and even get more of a workload this week in a game what's probably going to be tight. Seahawks played really well last week. I was expecting them to get beat, and obviously they didn't, and they'll probably play poor this week and get blown out. But from what we've seen the last few weeks, you would expect it to be close and all the starters to be in start to finish.
Like it. Bish, final bet.
Bet 3, Kareem Hunt over 65.5 rushing yards, and I think this is crazy low. I think this is a great price coming up against the Raiders, who have struggled a little bit against good running backs. I think they're ranked 23rd against the run overall, which isn't not too bad. But Kyron Williams did pretty well last week, and they've given up this line in 3 out of 7 games, and 3 of those backs have gone 100 plus. So I think this is more than doable. Just looking at Kareem Hunt as well, his last 2 games, he's had big rolls either side of the bye. Just before the bye, he came up against the Saints. He had 27 carries for 102 yards and a touchdown. And then just after the bye last week, they had the 49ers, and again, 22 carries, 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he's getting plenty of workload. And again, that falls into the Chiefs. They're struggling with weapons, pass catching weapons, for Mahomes, and they're running the ball a lot. And Kareem's doing a very good job. So I think that continues. And if we get anywhere near 20 carries, we sail over this quite comfortably. And if you're feeling a bit adventurous, slap it in a double and throw a touchdown in there as well.
Yeah, love that, Bish. I think it's a great bet. Obviously, Pacheco still looking like maybe week 10 return. He's clearly leading back in the league. They've got Diop there. If out, it might present the run a bit more now as well, because they'll be worried a bit more about the receivers. So, yeah, I think it's a great line.
Same, Bish, yeah. Let's have it.
Get on it.
Yeah, 3 pretty good bets there. I like the excitement. Always a Bish smile's always good to see on a lovely Friday morning. So we're on it. I don't think you'll like this one, lads. I'm taking a big risk here. It's my Bet 365 boost of the week. So I'll just explain anyone that watches. That's new. If you go on the thing, they come up these boosts, and basically instead of being a 9-1, it'll boost it to 12-1, and I pick one each week. And I've gone a bit risky here. I've gone in the Texans game versus the Colts. I've got Diggs and Dell both getting 75 plus receiving yards, and I've got Diggs and Dell to get 5 plus receptions. This is at 12-1. Pretty confident in the Diggs one. I'll just give my argument towards the Dell one. He's been getting the targets. It's just not quite worked for him. If you look at his targets line, he's been getting 9, 7, 6. He's been getting these targets pretty comfortably. It's just not come off for him yet. And I think against this Colts cornerback core, this is the week for him. They've been pretty. They've been pretty bad against not been brilliant against the receiving game against the quarterbacks as the Colts. It's been where the opposition's been getting the points. I can just see a big game for Dell. We saw his talent last year. He's had one big game this season, not last week but the week before, and hit these lines pretty comfortably. And again, just against these Colts cornerbacks, I think they're both going to eat. Collins is out, and it's time Dell steps up. Hopefully, that doesn't affect Diggs' line as well. So yeah.
With I think the thing what could hurt you is I think the Texans are ticking over. I think they might blow the Colts out in this game, and also the Colts are really poor against run D. So we've seen how well Joe Mixon's been playing lately. I think he'll get fed the ball quite a bit. I just think it's going to be a bit of a blowout. I could be wrong. I think if it is a blowout, this is what hurts this bet. If they get quite a few scores up, Q's in the rat, they'll just bring in Damian Pierce in to keep eating up that clock and running the ball. And I'm a bit off the Colts at the minute. So I see your thought process, Joe, and it's 12-1 for a reason. There's a very good chance what you're saying could come off. For me personally, I just think if the Texans blow the Colts out like I expect them to, and Mixon carries on his form, what he's been is unbelievable, then it might just stop them sort of 10 receptions total going to them two guys.
Yeah, I think you can pick which way you go against the Colts, the bad against the run, the bad against the pass. And the beauty of CJ Stroud is, the 75 plus, it could be, you could see 60, 50 in one throw. So I think where I probably is the make or break is the Dell receptions. Like you said, he's being peppered. He's just not, for whatever reason, he's not catching him. We spoke about him on debrief, and after watching the debrief, I watched the highlights, and he dropped one in the end zone. He would have had a touchdown, and he dropped one in the end zone. So it's just whether he can get those catches, I think, for Dell. But like you said, he's got 2 weeks, and Nico Collins is back, so hopefully that spurs him on.
Okay, it's time for Tag's Treble. Take us through it, Tag.
Yeah, bad week last week after a good win. A lot of thoughts going into this. I need to get back on the win train. So I've got my first one in the Tags Treble is Dolphins minus 3.5. I'm just expecting the Dolphins to explode. Tua's back. You've seen the buzz all week in camp. They're at home, minus 3.5. Almost double money on that bet alone. I'm not buying into the Cardinals. I don't think they was great against the Chargers. And I'm just ready for the Dolphins to explode. And I think this could be the game where they get obviously back on track. Tua's back and a real good win. I'm backing the Falcons again. I could be stupid. The less than a field goal handicap, minus 2.5. They're playing the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are poor against the pass. The Falcons have got a lot of people to feed, as we've seen in Mooney, in Pitts, in London. I think if you've got them three in your fantasy, chuck them in. I think they're going to have big days against this Bucs secondary. And also the Bucs, we've just seen They've lost Godwin. They've lost Goodwin. Sorry, they've lost Evans. There's going to be some high reps for some of the other lads in there, but I just think the Falcons bounced back after a poor display last week, and I think they've got the ammo to take the Bucks apart. I think it'll be an high-scoring game, but I just don't think the Bucks will stay with them. My last one, the treble. I said I won't bet on Denver the rest of the year. I ain't betting on Denver. I'm betting on my boy Javonte. We saw a bit of a breakthrough career game for him last week. It was good to see. He finally delivered, and he's going against a poor Panthers team in my eyes. I think 62 rushing yards against the Panthers on what they're doing at the minute. The Broncos at home as well. I think they'll run the ball well. I think you could even look at Bo Nix on his handicaps pretty low to how many yards Bo'd run. A bit like Bish with Kareem Hunt. You could even chuck the touchdown in with Javonte as well. But I think 62 is just low for him against this Panthers run defense. So I'm feeling pretty good this week, boys. I do like what I'm looking at. I think the one what could hurt me is the Dolphins going to do what we think they're going to do with Tua back, or does he need a game or two back in to get his confidence? We don't know, but at 5.5 to 1, close to 6 to 1 treble, I'm all in, lads. I'm pretty happy.
Let you go first, Bish.
Nice. No, Javonte, I like it. He was on my short list, but you beat me to the WhatsApp group, so you took him. But yeah, I do fancy him for a touchdown as well. For me, I think the Dolphins, I think this is it for them, the strike back. You know, I'm actually looking at the Dolphins, what are the playoff odds? You know, are they good enough price to still make a push? I think if Tua stays fit, they'll be good for the end of the year. And then for me, the stickler is the Falcons. I really liked him the start of the year, and then I've seen a few things last week as well. I'm a bit shaky on Kirk Cousins. Winfield's back for the Bucks. He looked good last week, but like you said, they are struggling with options. They have got I'm trying to say a plethora of running backs. They've got some good running backs, but the pass catching options, obviously with Evans and Godwin out, they're going to struggle. So for me, I think that's the where it falls on that one. The Falcons. Can the Falcons bounce back from last week?
See, I'll go a bit different again. I'm all in on the fan with you, Tag. I think that Buccaneers, if the offense isn't churning like it has to do to win, I think Falcons can game manage that game away, and I think field goal brilliant. Javonte should be a sure bet, shouldn't it? I'm not betting on the Panthers again. I'm worried about the Dolphins, lads. I'm not fully sold on this Dolphins like you two are. Obviously, in the game against Buffalo, where Tua did get his concussion, he threw 3 interceptions, and he wasn't having the best of games. The game 1 was against Jacksonville, which looked impressive at the time, but as we've learned, Jacksonville are terrible. So I don't know. I'm just not sold on this. I'm not sold on the Dolphins yet. I think the good part about it is they're against Arizona, and that's the part I do agree with you on, Tag. I think they're massively overrated. I don't think they've got what it wins. Probably that over the field goal margin is probably what's scaring me. I think it might be a close game to get back into it, because I think they've still got some things to figure out, the Dolphins, even with Tua back.
The Cardinals are bottom 6 against the pass. Tua's going to have a field day.
Up the Tua. Hot Tua.
And to finish it off, lads, we've got the touchdown treble as always. Let's hit it this week. We've gone fairly safe, but we'll take it through as the names come on.
Yeah, so I've thrown up Jalen Hurts, and this is again the Bengals. The Bengals have given up in 6 out of 7 games. They've given up a rushing touchdown, and Jaden Daniels got over against them as well. So I'm back in Jalen Hurts for a nice push touchdown.
And have we covered to match what I've done on my betting? I think Josh Jacobs is in for a big week. I think he's just getting better and better. Really like what he's doing. Really like this Packers offense. And Jacksonville seem to handle Packers defense pretty well. They're pretty good. They normally do pretty well against us. So I think it will be a bit of a scoring fest. And I think Josh Jacobs is going to get his second rushing or receiving touchdown of the season. He's only got 2 touchdowns on the season, extremely low for his usage. So I think he's going to get a couple in a row here and start to really fly up on the fantasy.
I'm gone Tyreek Hill. I traded in Amari Cooper last week. I picked him. He scored. I've traded in Tyreek Hill. I picked him. He's going to score. We're all in on that train. If anyone saw the clip I reposted, Tyreek Hill has told everybody, start him in fantasy. He's back with his boy to Tyreek Hill. Going to chuck it out there. He gets a long touchdown in the first quarter and he's settled nice and early. Up the cheetah.
I like it. And our last win was a 9-1 as well.
Well,
don't say that.
Well, we're still in the money and we'll double in again and be in the money. If we win this, then we're more or less covered for the year. So aren't we? 17 weeks. That'll be 20-1. We're up all year. Well, no pressure. We'll go big.
Well, brilliant, lads. 9-1, like you said. So let's have another good week. Like it all. I think I've probably chucked the worst bets out there. So get on tags, get on bitches, have fun with mine. We'll see where we are come Sunday night. But Bish, give us your sending thoughts.
Yeah, please like, subscribe again. Get your comments in there, get your bets in there. Unlucky Rob Fussy, aka Gramps, on your tight end treble there. Let you down. Never include the early kickoff. You know, it transfers from soccer to football, so don't include that one. But yeah, let's get in the comments. Let's see what you're getting on with, and enjoy week 8.
Are you doing your shorts?
Oh yeah, the shorts. We almost forgot. So I'll go. So bet 1, I've got Devon A-Chain over 23.5 receiving yards. Bet 2, Jordan Love over 2.5 passing touchdowns. And bet 3, Kareem Hunt over 65.5 rushing yards.
And mine is Josh Jacobs over 16.5 receiving, Christian Watson over 26.5. I've got JSN over 51.5 receiving, Kenneth Walker over 23.5 receiving, and Keane Coleman over 31.5 receiving. And the Bet365 bet boost I've picked for the week is the riskiest one I've picked in a while. It's Diggs and Dell, 75 plus receiving yards each, and then both of them to get 5 plus receptions. So I want the Texans to have a big game. Tag.
Yeah, tags treble. We're going with Dolphins handicap -3.5, Falcons handicap -2.5, and Javonte Williams over 62.5 rushing yards. Gives a grand total of around 5 to 6-1.
Brilliant. And then to finish off one last time, the touchdown treble.
There it is.
I'll let you go. Bish, Jalen Hurts, me, Josh Jacobs, and tag Tyreek Hill. It's 9-1, as just revealed then. Let's have a good week, lads, and we will see you Monday on the review. See you on the message boards, as Bish said. Get messaging us. I think we're all getting individual messages. Put your comments that you're sending us onto the YouTube. Yeah, it helps with the algorithms, all the stuff to get us out there. I'm getting messages. Bish, we all get messages every week. Just chuck them on there. It helps us out, lads. But
we'll take your criticism as well. Yeah. All publicity is good publicity.
Slaughter me if I ever get the Carolina big game like last week, and we can all have a laugh at my expense. So see you soon, lads, and see you. Have a good luck on Sunday.
See you later.